Hi everyone! So before I had Ruby, each time I would spot a Challenger Hellcat, I would always tell myself I will get one day. And now that it's been over a year, one of the most common questions that I get asked a lot is, do you regret buying your Hellcat? And the short answer is hell no. I always get butterflies seeing her parked in my garage, and now I know you guys have seen a bunch of other guys' videos on this, but have you seen it from a chick's perspective? So let's go over some of the reasons why I don't regret buying my Hellcat. For starters, I just love the overall look of this car. It is the perfect blend of style and performance. It is honestly a huge boat on four wheels. This is probably one of the biggest cars I've ever owned. And I love the fact that Dodge kept this as a coupe. It is actually pretty spacious inside. So I am very happy that they kept this as a two-door. And I'm a huge fan of the 1970s Challenger, and I just love that they incorporated some of those features. For example, you still got the four headlights. Then here off to the side, you still have the side markers. And honestly, one of my favorite things is that they still kept the fuel door. And the fact that the lights are still rectangular, just like they used to have them on the 1970s model. Alright, so I want to go to the front to show you some of my favorite modern designs that they incorporated into the Hellcat. I will always drool over this hood design. The fact that it has the two hood scoops is one of my favorite things and makes this car stand out so much. No matter what color this car is, the hood will always give it away that it is a Hellcat. And I personally want to change the hood to black, but I really want a carbon fiber hood. And I think it'll stand out so much with the octane red. But that's just something I'm working towards. Another thing that I love is the fact that this air intake and headlight is dual purpose. So remember when that first came out, a lot of people were freaking out because it was just something so innovative and so clever that I just love that. Another thing is the fact that this car has very subtle emblems. So back in the early 1970s, the Challengers actually did have a Challenger logo here up in the front. Now it's replaced by SRT with the Hellcat logo. I wish it still say Challenger in the front, but I'm not going to complain. You do also have the Hellcat logo inside the air intake, which stands out very nice at night. And then here on the sides, you do have the Hellcat logo on both sides. And then here in the back, you do have the SRT and the Hellcat logo on the wing. It did have a Dodge logo here, but I ended up debadging it because I wanted to kind of clean up the back just so that way the tail lights can stand out even more and you only see red. And I also blacked out the reflectors at the bottom. I just think it looks really cool, even though I'm not the one who's actually looking at it at night. But I just think that adds a little bit more personality to the car. And yeah, I just love those features on this car. Now, I want to pop the hood open for you guys since I've never shown you before. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Get the door right here. Alright, so I might need to actually prop you guys since I'm going to need two hands. So I do want to provide a disclaimer that my engine bay is probably not going to be the cleanest. And I say that because keep in mind this is probably the first really nice car that I've ever owned, so I never really detailed the engine bay before. I did wash her yesterday and I only wiped down the engine bay, so please be gentle with me because there's going to be some watermarks, so I'm just warning you right now. So let's take a look at engine bay here. Now, one of my favorite things in here is the fact that it does come with the Challenger last call plate on here, so that's pretty cool. I need to clean my air filter now that I'm looking at it. It's pretty It's pretty bad. So please ignore the watermarks. But this is basically what it looks inside. And honestly, it's pretty badass. It is pretty badass if you ask me. Also, I think it's pretty cool that it does say SRT right there. That's nice. So again, please ignore all the watermarks in here. Another reason why I don't regret buying my Hellcat is because the amount of performance that it comes straight from factory. And honestly, I didn't buy this car because it is the fastest car. It is the most powerful car on the streets. I honestly bought it for a fun street car that I can take road trips on and even just get the groceries. So for me, it is just insane amount of power straight from factory that honestly sold me, because keep in mind that I don't know how to build cars, and two, I don't have the time to learn how to do it successfully, and I've never had somebody to come teach me how to do that. But eventually I do want to get a project car and start teaching myself how to do that. I think that's something that is really fun. It always interests me how to do it, because I love to continuously learn. So that's something that I really want to work towards. But the fact that the Hellcat comes with so much power straight from factory, I don't really need to modify her or anything. Is something that was like the biggest selling point for me. Now, the fact that I can also modify her and get a little bit more horsepower out of her is something that, I want to do down the line. So the fact that that's also an option for me is pretty cool if you ask me. Now, I know that 717 horsepower is just too much for some people to drive on the street. Now, do I need 717 horsepower? No. But do I want 717 horsepower? Hell yeah! So, when it comes to Ruby, I honestly do not regret purchasing her, because she has a perfect amount of just like classic and modern performance, as well as just style that I personally always enjoy. So, I want to work more towards like learning how to build cars and obviously how to modify cars and get a project car eventually. But when it comes to Ruby, the fact that I can enjoy her with an insane amount of power straight from factory is honestly one of the best things that I possibly could have ever done. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. I also wanted to ask you guys, how do you feel about like this setup? Because I don't know if like this is too distracting with all the solar panels, but I thought it was something like really cool. But let me know if that was just too distracting for you guys, so I know whether or not to film here again. So thank you guys again. Drive safe.